Hey, I'm David Breslow, and I want to welcome you to today's edition of Dose with Dave. I am the founder of Performance Success Strategy and author of Wired to Win. So today, I would like to talk about the three relationship killers and thrillers. You know, it's interesting. Relationships are everywhere, right? We have a relationship with everything in life. You have a relationship with yourself. You have a relationship with your spouse, with your children, with your friends, with your coworkers, with your boss. You pretty much have a relationship with just about everything. So relationships are where it's at. And if you can start to cultivate better, thrilling relationships, everything in your world starts to get better. So let me talk about relationship killer number one. It is the need to be right. If you have a need to be right, that is a relationship killer. Why? Because a person who needs to be right is constantly trying to get in the last word. Do you know anybody like this who's trying to get in the last word? What they really need, it's not just a desire. They need you to agree with them. They need you to acknowledge them. They need you to see that they're right. Okay, total relationship killer. If you need to be right, in my opinion, that's really nothing more than coming from the ego. And if you think about it, the ego is only interested in two things: power and control. And the need to be right is absolutely falling right in line with that. You need to have power over others, and you need to control situations and people. And so if you need to be right, that's a killer of a relationship. How do you like being around somebody who always needs to be right? They're always trying to one up you. No matter what you do or what you say, they're coming back at you with another point, another fact, another opinion. And somehow, when you're right, what you're really doing is making somebody wrong. You might not mean to, but that's in effect what you're doing. Who wants to be in a relationship with somebody that's making you feel wrong all the time? Okay? The need to be right is purely a relationship killer. So the relationship thriller side of this is, why can't you be open enough and consider being open enough to embrace other people's perspectives? Every human being has a perspective. We all have a point of view on something. We all have an opinion on something. And it's what we know. We're comfortable with it. And to be around somebody who's going to unintentionally or intentionally demean that and try to make us wrong by constantly overrunning us and trying to be right about all of that, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. So it's a killer of a relationship. Why can't you be open enough? The empowered person, and you know, I talk about empowerment all the time. The empowered person has mentally and emotionally a wider, let's say, radar screen. They have a wider ability to accept others. Why can't you at least experiment for now? If you're one of those people who needs to be right, try for one day allowing other people to express their opinion and keep your mouth shut. Okay, that's the challenge, because the person who needs to be right is constantly looking for that break, that opening where they can put in their 2 cents. Try keeping your mouth shut. Okay, allow other people to have their opinion, to have their perspective, because they have it anyway, whether you allow it or not. And so if you're in a work environment or in a personal relationship or romantic relationship, the fact that you can allow other people to be comfortable expressing their perspective and their point of view without feeling like they're going to get slammed by you because of your need to be right, look what's going to happen. You're creating a culture in a business realm. You're creating an environment in a personal relationship realm that other people are comfortable with you. They're feeling safe. They're comfortable. They're willing to have a conversation with you. They know they're not going to get slammed and demeaned and made wrong. So what you're doing is you're raising the energy. You're raising the relationship many, many times up there. So that's killer number one, is the need to be right. Killer number two is the critic. Okay. Do you know anybody who tends to be critical? Now, I have done this a lot in my past. I'm a coach. People come to me and ask me questions. I have solutions. I offer ideas. I offer perspectives. I'm the coach. I'm the guy people come to. Now, that's okay. If you're getting paid for your your comments, if you're getting paid as a consultant, where you come in and you have a critical eye and you're looking at things that need to be improved, that's great. But can't do that in personal or professional relationships. Because if you're a critical person, you think you're being constructive, the old constructive criticism kind of thing. It's really not constructive. You might think it's constructive, but to the other person, all they hear is somebody who's criticizing them. Look, people criticize themselves enough in life, don't they? You know this to be true. You might even do it yourself. We don't need other people criticizing us the same way we criticize ourselves. It just doesn't help. So it's a real relationship killer. Even if you think you're being helpful, like I used to, I thought, hey, I'm pointing out something that I think might benefit you down the road. If you can improve this aspect of yourself, ego, it'll help you down the road. But that's not what they hear. What they're hearing is criticism. This person is demeaning me, making me feel bad. You think that's a relationship thriller? No way. No way. So if you want to be a relationship thriller, why can't you start to praise people? Once again, the need to criticize, keep the mouth shut. Why can't you come to people and initiate praise? Why can't you put your lens, your mental lens, on searching for things about other people that you can praise? Look for what's right about them, not for what's wrong. Do this for 3 days. I promise you, it will change how people perceive you. It will change the energy in the room. It will change the culture if you're in a business environment. It will change the environment in your personal relationships with your friends and family members. Okay? What a very cool way to alter the culture. Because if you can have a culture of praise, and if you can set that up and you can be the instigator of it, other people will start to follow. Because what you're doing is you're allowing other people, again, to be comfortable. They will feel safe. Now, just because you're praising doesn't mean to ignore things that need attention. I'm not suggesting that. Because if you're a person who tends to be a fixer and a solution maker, you're always looking for things that aren't working so you can come up with something better. I'm a bit like that myself, but I have to be careful with that because that leads me to be critical, and other people are just hearing the critical part. Like I said, in a work environment where I'm being paid for that, that's one thing. But in personal relationships or in a business culture where I'm not being paid to be that way, that doesn't work because other people are just hearing the negativity. And so you don't need that in the culture or in your environment. So when you're praising, what it does is it sets up an environment where people are safe, they're comfortable, it's a positive energy. Then if there's something you really need to talk about that requires attention, that might involve some criticism about a person's performance or relationship with you, then they're much more receptive to it. Do you get it? They're much more receptive to hearing what you have to say only because you've laid the baseline groundwork with them to be comfortable, because basically they're hearing you praise them. So that's my challenge to you. Spend the next 3 days praising people, but first look for what's praisable. That's a mental thing. It's a choice you make. Look for what you can praise in anybody and do that first. And just get in the habit of praising people and watch what happens around you. All the energy around you is going to change. It's going to change from toxic and frustrating and negative to something much lighter, positive, and engaging. How cool would that be? So that's relationship killer and thriller number 2. The last relationship killer is the real killer. It's deadly jealousy. Okay. Lots of people like to say they're not jealous, but in fact, many people are. I just know a handful of people in my life where jealousy actually does not exist with them. And I actually didn't believe it when they told me at first, but over time, they showed me. They demonstrated that jealousy is just not something they're willing to go to. And so they're not. The majority of us, a little bit different. Yeah, come on, be honest. We have jealousy. We're jealous of other people. We're jealous of what they have. We're jealous of what they do, maybe. Jealousy is, I hate to say it's normal, but it's not unusual for human beings. Human beings can get jealous, but what a relationship killer. romantic relationships, personal relationships. If you're expressing jealousy, and what most of us do is we don't necessarily express jealousy directly. What do? We go around it by being negative, by being short, by being sarcastic, judgmental, critical. Okay? We do all these things that express what's really going on, which is our jealousy. Jealousy, for sure, is a relationship killer. So, once again, this jealousy creates toxic energy. It's negative, it's frustrating for other people because they may not understand what you're doing. All they know is you're treating them badly. Why would you want to do that? Just because you're jealous? That kind of gets back to the ego I mentioned before. Ego, power, and control. Remember? A jealous person is constantly feeling less than. Understand that. When you're jealous, what you're really saying is, I'm feeling less than you. You have something I want. You are a person that I'd like to be, so I'm jealous of you. But putting that jealousy out there in terms of demonstrating it, in terms of judging people and being critical to people and being short with them and being sarcastic with them, we do that with a little smile on our face, ha 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 ha. But what you're really saying is, I'm jealous. And it's an ugly, ugly thing. Jealousy is an ugly, ugly human trait. There is no benefit to jealousy. Zero. If you can think of one, send it to me. I cannot think of a single positive benefit of being jealous. Not one. So jealousy is incredibly dangerous, incredibly toxic, incredibly negative. It will kill a relationship as faster than anything else. Because with jealousy comes the first two things. You're often very critical, and if you're a person who needs to be right, that kicks in too. There's just nothing good about it. So what's the relationship thriller side of jealousy? That's really a more personal thing, an internal thing, is to understand that whatever you want in life, whatever you think somebody has that you don't have, you have the ability to get. Why can't, because every non-jealous person I know says the same thing to me when I ask them, how is it that you're not jealous? How is it that you've learned? Well, and most of them will say to me, well, I learned early on that jealousy is an ugly emotional state and I don't like it. So I decided when I was young, I am never going to be jealous of another person. And point number two, if they have something I want, or if they're behaving in a way that I want, if they have a trait that I want, I go get it. That's it. I'm taking responsibility. So here we come again, back to empowerment. The empowered person does not feel jealous anymore. Or if they do, it doesn't govern them. It's not strong enough. The empowered person has the strength and the foresight and the ability, because they understand their mind-body relationship and the power that they already have, to go and get what they want. They go create what they want. A jealous person doesn't create anything. They just sit back and go, oh, I can't do this. You did. So I'm so jealous of you. I hate you. Stuff like that. But all they're doing is resigning and giving in and feeling even worse about themselves. It's the classic pity party. All right? Classic pity party. The empowered person doesn't go there. They don't need to go there. They understand the power that they have. And they understand that if there's something that they really want, somebody else has it, and you really want it, they have no need to be jealous. It's a wasted emotion. They just go get it. They figure out how to go get that thing. Or if it's a behavioral trait, they figure out how to go demonstrate that trait. So this last killer has more to do with who you are as a person internally, as opposed to the first two killers. But jealousy, if you've ever been jealous, you know what I mean. Jealousy will kill a romantic relationship faster than anything, for sure. If you've ever experienced that, you're nodding your head going, yeah, I know what he means. I've done it. I've allowed jealousy to absolutely ruin relationships that I was actually pretty happy in. I wanted to be it, but I was so jealous about certain things when I was younger. It literally got in the way, and the person just said, bye bye. I can't be around somebody who's clawing at me like that. So if you've ever been jealous of another person or something like that, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It is a true relationship killer. Business relationship, professional relationship, personal relationship, family relationship, friends relationship, killer, killer, killer. Why can't you consider, even for a moment, that you have the tools, you have the power to go get whatever it is you're jealous of? Don't sit back and play the weakling by just sitting back and going, "Oh, I can't get this, but you have it, so I'm jealous." No, that's playing the weak card. You're not that weak. You have the power to get what you want. You don't need to dump that on somebody else in the form of jealousy. So those are the three relationship killers and the three relationship thrillers. So thank you so much for being here with me on this dose of Dave today. Please visit the website, www.davebreslow.com. You'll see access to a free empowering training video, or depending on where you're seeing this video right now, look on the page. There might be a link directly to the video for you. It's a free video on the 3 secrets that empowered people know to design the life they want that other people only dream about. And that can be you. So you're more than welcome to take a look at that training video. It's really a good video. So Dave Breslow, so happy to be with you here again today, and I look forward to seeing you next time, okay? Take care. Go out and build some thrilling relationships everywhere you can. Have a good day. Bye.